A brand new Mario movie is announced. Warner Bros. Enrages a bunch of indie devs, and the League of Legends team protesting with Crocs. I'm Ash Dixon, and this is Jinx News. It was Mario Day yesterday, meaning Nintendo dropped a load of announcements for everyone's favorite Italian plumber. What is Mario Day? Well, it's not an anniversary or anything, it's just March 10th, and when you abbreviate that, it kind of looks like the word Mario, providing a convenient day each year to announce some goodies. And yesterday was no different, with a new Super Mario Bros. Movie getting officially announced. It'll once again be a collaboration between Nintendo and Illumination, and is set to be released on April 3rd, 2026. Let's be honest, this was the most inevitable news ever. The original film made over $1.3 billion globally and beat out Frozen to become the second biggest animated film in history. Was it incredibly mid? Yes. Was it full of unoriginal gags? Yes. Luckily, Jack Black is a god amongst men and managed to carry the film with a song so catchy that I'm going to apologize right now for reminding you of its existence.
Peaches, 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 peaches.
But then again, I expected nothing less than a safe corporate cash-in from Nintendo, and it did prove to be the perfect family film for 2023. So what's in store for round 2? Well, Shigeru Miyamoto stopped short of calling it a sequel, and instead an animated film based in the world of the Super Mario Bros. He went on to say, "We're thinking about broadening Mario's world further, and it will have a bright and fun story." It being bright has already ruled something like Luigi's Mansion out, and some are speculating it could be inspired by Super Mario Sunshine. If I was a betting man, I'd say the vagueness is due to it being tied to a new unannounced Mario game. After all, a new 3D Mario is very much due in the next year or two, and lining those two up would only mean one thing: lots and lots of money. And shout out to the guy on Twitter who replied saying, "Make a Zelda movie, FFS." Like, bro, they literally are. Clearly, Publius doesn't watch Jinx News. Don't be like Publius. Hit that subscribe button. Outside of the movie, we also got some release dates for some Mario games coming out this year. The remake of Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door will drop on May 23rd, bringing one of the GameCube's most underappreciated games to the Switch. Meanwhile, Luigi's Mansion 2 HD will be released on June 27th. I am super curious what Nintendo plans to do now that they're running out of games to remake, though I suppose Ocarina of Time 3D did come out all the way back in 2011, so purely based on the numbers, a remake of the remake is well overdue. In fact, that started out as a joke, but we all know a full modern reimagining of Ocarina of Time would sell in absolute droves. A trio of Game Boy Mario games are also coming to Nintendo Switch Online this week, and to round off Mario Day 2024, we also got a little teaser for some Lego Mario Kart sets. They won't be dropping though until next year, so like, why tell us now? That's just mean. From Mario Brothers to Warner Brothers now, or should I call them Warn Your Brothers, because beware, if you're a small developer, they may be screwing you over. They recently acquired the publisher Adult Swim Games, and it seems all the games they published are just going to be outright delisted. A developer of Fist Puncher confirmed as much, saying that they asked Warner Brothers to simply transfer the game to their own Steam publisher account. However, they said no, saying that they don't have the resources to do so. Here's the kicker though, it likely takes them like 2 minutes to do it. Another developer, Studio Bean, who made Sound Dodger, literally sent them a Steam transfer link and explained that all they needed to do was 3 clicks, but they still refused. Now, for full transparency, these developers can republish their games to Steam, but that resets them to 0 reviews and 0 wishlists. And for indie games, those are both integral to giving your game visibility and actually generating sales. And it's just an all-round move. One developer outright released their game, Small Radio's Big Television, for free on their website in response, as they don't want any more money going to Warner Brothers before it's delisted. But hey, I guess we shouldn't complain. As Warner Brothers said last week, they're doubling down on live service games. Who wants this indie trash when we can have more titles like Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League? Over the weekend, the game's concurrent player count went up by 5 times to 1,000 players. So it's nice to see them dropping the price by 40% is paying off. It's time for the Quickfire Round, and it looks like it's gonna be smooth sailing for former Xbox exclusive Sea of Thieves, because it's currently the most pre-ordered game on PlayStation. That's above big boys like Dragon's Dogma 2 and Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree. It probably helps that there are some juicy pre-order bonuses too. But it looks like Xbox's decision to port some titles over to their biggest rivals could bear fruit for all parties. And it just rubs even more salt in the wound for Ubisoft's quadruple A pirate flop, Skull and Bones. A bit of esports news now, and I want to talk to you about footwear, and more specifically, Crocs, because on Saturday, Riot gave the 100 Thieves LCS team a $5,000 fine. Why? Because one of their players wore Crocs, and well, apparently open-toe shoes aren't allowed in esports for some reason. Well, yesterday, 100 Thieves won the LCS Spring Finals, and what better way to celebrate than for the entire team to wear some Crocs? And, well, if you didn't want people to protest your silly rules, maybe don't name your company Riot. And finally, while most gaming observers are getting excited about the next Mario movie, there's a long-mooted adaptation for a very different game that might be one step closer to reality. That's right, a Watch Dogs adaptation. Ubisoft have been barking up this tree for a fair old while. In fact, they talked about a potential movie before the first game came out back in 2014. So you'll probably be forgiven for raising an eyebrow about this latest news. But according to Deadline, it's going to star Sophie Wilde, who played the lead in the breakout horror film Talk to Me, and it will be directed by Matthew Turi, who's probably best known for Hostile, another horror title. So yeah, quite how this all fits in with a sci-fi sandbox stealth game is beyond me, though lots of movies don't get past this initial stage. But hey, apparently a live-action Minecraft managed to break out of development hell, so it might just actually happen. That's the show! Like, subscribe, see you tomorrow.